going to talk about one of my favourite meals that I can cook in the Thermomix, and this is a risotto. And it might look quite complicated, but this is really simple. And this is something that I've cooked on the road many times. It's something that I've cooked at home for my family many times, and you can have a lot of different varieties with it. But what we're going to work on today is a chicken-based risotto, and the vegetables, I've hand cut the vegetables really to give a different look. And the grains that I'm using 3 different grains, where I've got some pearl barley, I've got some quinoa, and I've got some normal risotto rice. And I'm doing that for a few reasons. I'm doing it, one, it adds different flavours and textures, more variety of different foods, give more nutrients in there. Things such as the quinoa, again, is one of these new superfoods that's got protein, it's got great fats in it, it's an absolutely fantastic grain. So we bring it all together, we get great textures, cooking it all together as well, great textures, flavours, and the nutrients are great as well. Parmesan cheese is such a great flavour for in foods such as risotto, and I'm going to grate this first of all in the Thermomix. So Parmesan cheese, you know what it's like, you can be grating it for hours, it's hard work, but the Thermomix will make short work of it. So I've got 100 grams of Parmesan cheese, just going to put that in the bowl, put my lid on, and I'm going to put it on speed 10 for 10 seconds. And this will give us a really nice fine Parmesan cheese. And I love smelling things, I love the smell of fresh Parmesan. So I'll be using some of the Parmesan in the cooking, and I'll also be using some of the Parmesan in the to finish the risotto off with as well. I'm also going to be using some cream cheese within the risotto, so this adds protein and it has a very nice creamy texture. The next thing I'm going to do is put all of my vegetables into the bowl with the chicken, and I'm going to start cooking that to get everything softened and start cooking the chicken through. The garlic that I'm using, I happen to have in these large bulbed garlics, and one of them is equivalent to about 4 cloves, so one of them chopped down to the garlic that we've got there. So I love garlic, great flavours with it. So I'm going to use some coconut oil with this. You can use olive oil. I'm using coconut oil because I love the flavours with it. I love the type of fats that are in it. It's different to other oils. Again, we're getting variety. And I've been using coconut oil now since the late 80s. So I'll put my coconut oil in first. Then all of these vegetables go in. And with the beetroot there, that was whole beetroot with the stalks as well. Put my chicken in. I'm going to set this for 10 minutes. (100 degrees). And just put it on to speed 2. And just while that's cooking, I can then go away and have a cup of tea and come back. Oh, and I forgot the garlic. So I've got the Thermomix jingle again. That tells me that it's been cooking for 10 minutes, so that should have softened everything. Oh, and that's absolutely beautiful. So the colours are starting to come through there now. It's just partially cooked. So now I've softened the vegetables and the chicken. I'm going to add the rice, quinoa, and pearl barley mix. I've got some beautiful homemade vegetable stock here, so I've got to put a good teaspoonful in. A teaspoon is equivalent to a normal stock cube. There's quite a bit of salt in this, so I'm not adding any extra seasoning, any extra salt to the risotto. I'm now going to put water that I've just boiled in because that helps with the cooking, and I'm going to cover the whole risotto by about 3 centimetres. I am going to need to add more water to it, but this is to get things cooking. This will make a really nice creamy sauce with this, so I'm just covering it by about 3 centimetres, and that's just freshly boiled water. Put my lid back on. I've set it for 20 minutes, which should be long enough for it to cook, but we can always check. I'm going to set it again at 100 degrees, put it at speed 2 and on reverse blade. And what I'll do as well, to help with the stirring, I'm going to use our spatula. That's just give it another little mix. It's going well. I'll slow this down because that's mixing nicely, just down to speed 1. And I'll let that cook. So it's been cooking for about 5 minutes. I'm just going to check to see if it needs any more fluid. So I'll have a look. And that's all cooking great. Let's have a look. Well, that is coming really, really nice. Got a nice sauce with it. Just see if they... We're going to get the timing spot on. So I've just tasted it. It's coming on fantastically. Just needs a little bit more salt. So I'm going to put just half a teaspoon in. I'm also going to add the cream cheese. So this just brings a really nice texture and also great protein again with it. So I've got 180 grams of cheese, and I'm going to add about half of the parmesan cheese. So this again helps to make that really creamy sauce with it. Great flavours. Just put about half in. I'll give it a little stir with my spatula, then I'll switch it on just to finish it off there for the next 5 minutes. So I'll just give that a little mix in. Put my lid back on. Speed 1, and off we go. So now that's cooked for 20 minutes, it's finished. So all I'm going to do now is put it in a nice serving dish and we'll eat it. So we can see we've got a lovely creamy sauce there. Everything's cooked really nice to perfection. Just get all the pearl barley and quinoa and rice. And because I used the reverse blade, it hasn't turned it all into mush. It's stirred it all nice, so everything is really nicely mixed in and cooked. And I'm just going to dress it with a little bit of wild rocket. And then we've got the parmesan for people who want a little bit more parmesan, and then we're good to go. Am I allowed to speak with my mouth full? No, it's really nice. I mean, I haven't done that exact recipe, but it's that concept. Yes, yeah. You know, where I've made countless times when I've been away, working with bike riders, working with athletes. It's just a simple dish and it just tastes so good. But again, the really important thing is using the reverse blade, otherwise it all just turns into almost like a stew. But this is, we can see we've got beautiful creamy sauce with that. So the Philadelphia cheese is great for the protein, and the parmesan just gives it such a good kick.
And I bet the guys really love it that you actually change the flavours by inventing a slight variation every time.
Yeah, well that's the nice thing with cooking is that you can do it slightly different every time. It doesn't have to be perfect. And as you can see, I'm not a chef, but it's nice to do things that work well. Normally when you're cooking a risotto, you've got to stand over it, stirring it, watching it all the time, whereas with the Thermomix I can just let it do everything there, so we can put everything in and it's just cooking away. The other thing is about the temperature control. I can set the temperature to within a degree of what I want it to be, so that helps on a few things. One, about the cooking time, but also it helps to protect the nutrients within the food as well. Nutritionally, the Thermomix makes a lot of sense because we're not going to be overcooking foods, we're not going to be denaturing some of the proteins and some of the vitamins, which you can easily do by just putting too much heat into the pan. The Thermomix gives me pretty much control over everything because I can weigh the ingredients, so I know exactly how much is going in there. I can chop it to exactly the cut that I want, so if I want a rough cut then it can be rough, or if I want it super fine then it can be really fine. So it gives me all that degree of control, so it can be exactly as I want it.